Welcome to On the Move, where we take you behind the scenes of Forsyth County's larger construction projects. Today, we're talking about the Big Creek Greenway, one of Forsyth County's most beloved recreational assets. It spans about 17 miles from the southernmost tip of the county all the way up to Sawney Mountain. And today, I'm joined by Kirk Franz, our Director of Parks and Rec, and John Jefferson, Director of Capital Projects. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so the Big Creek Greenway, people love to come out here every day to run, to bike, to walk. So Kirk, tell us a little bit about where we are today to orient everybody, and then a little bit about the closure that's just north of here, why that happened, and any of the status on the Greenway in general.
Sure, so we're here at the Bethel View Trailhead, which is one of our popular trailheads and access points to the Greenway. Our Greenway, about 2 miles north from this trailhead, up towards Kelly Mill Road, has been closed. Over the past, or actually in 2024, our crews started to see that the wood decking and even the wood base of the boardwalk was starting to have some issues due to moisture, wood rot, and we did our best to try to maintain and keep it open. But it got to the point in about late August of last year that we saw that it just wasn't safe anymore. Yeah. So we made the tough decision to close it so that we could look closer into what was needed to repair and get it back open again.
I remember back when that happened, and so I'm just curious, in case any of our viewers are, what are we doing to ensure the rest of the boardwalk areas of the Big Creek Greenway, remain good to go for people to continue to enjoy?
Sure. So we have a great staff, a crew, our group, we call them our Greenway crew, and they're out on the Greenway every day from morning till the end of the day to inspect, check the boardwalk. If there's a storm especially, they're looking to see if there's any trees that have fallen or if there's any kind of issues that have happened overnight. And so we constantly have eyes on the Greenway, all the way, as you mentioned, from Halcyon all the way up to the mountain.
So I remember back when this closure happened, Capital Projects and Parks and Rec immediately went to work. And so John, will ask you about this, to do a engineering analysis and a survey of Phase 4. What was the result of that, and how did we have that survey and analysis done?
Sure. So the county hired BCC Heath and Lineback, and they have a group that does active transportation, which is what a greenway is considered in that world. And they've had multiple engineers come out here and walk the entire greenway. They inspected underneath, above. They did an analysis of the entire length of the greenway and characterized the amount of deterioration on each section. And we've got that report. They found multiple sections up to several hundred feet long that just simply weren't safe to use anymore.
And I know that the Board of Commissioners recently approved a engineering as needed service agreement. What was that about? It was related to the Big Creek Greenway. What does that mean for this project? I'm sure people are curious.
Sure. So we had BCC Heath and Lineback under agreement already to help us design Phase 3 of the Greenway, which is from the Fowler Park entrance up to where we are here at Bethel View. We're going to try a new construction delivery method known as CM at Risk, and we transferred that scope of services and adjusted it for that firm to be able to help us with the CM at Risk delivery method, and we'll talk about that in a little while on this repair section 4 of the Greenway.
So John, you mentioned CM at Risk. I actually looked that up, and I know that it's a construction manager at risk, and I saw that there's a lot of benefits to individuals to go about construction projects like that in that way. So what are some of the benefits for our county to do a construction manager at risk for this renovation project?
Sure. We'll put together with procurement, we'll put together a request for qualifications and advertise that. We'll get responses to that. This will allow the county to select the most qualified contractor and then bring them on board with us to walk alongside the design process so they can have input during design. They'll also be able to help us with site logistics, how we're going to tackle Phase 4, whether we have multiple crews, whether we start at both ends, start in the middle, something we'll work that out with the designer and the contractor both on board at the same time. It would also allow us to do early release packages, so we could do early material procurement and try and speed up the delivery.
Well, we mentioned some phases, so I'm going to ask our Parks and Rec expert here, break it down for us. What are the different phases of the Greenway? A lot of people know, like, we're parked at Bethel View Trailhead today. What do we mean by the different phases?
Sure. So, as you mentioned, 17 miles, starts at Halcyon and goes all the way up to Sawney Mountain Park. So phase 1 is Halcyon to Union Hill Trailhead. Phase 2 is Union Hill Trailhead to Fowler Park, which is where we have another trailhead. And phase 3 would be Fowler Park to Bethel View, where we're at right now. And then phase 4 is Bethel View Trailhead north all the way up to the mountain.
Okay, all right, thank you so much. So, John, what I know a lot of people, especially people who use this trailhead here a lot, are wondering, when will this portion of phase 4 that's closed, when are we thinking it may be renovated and people are able to go back and enjoy it again?
We're hoping that sometime this summer.
Okay, all right. That sounds like good timing. People get very active then. And so also people always want to know, how are we paying for these things? So what can you tell us that you know at this point about funding sources for the renovation of phase 4, or the portion of phase 4?
It's going to be funded with SPLOST 9 proceeds.
Okay, so is there anything more that we should be telling the public about that might be helpful for them to know?
Yeah, so I'd like to talk just real quick about the new design, because this is going to be a better design. It's going to have steel underlay, and that steel component will help us out greatly with repairs, maintenance. The moisture right now that's getting to the wood, it usually gets underneath, and by the time it's traveled up to the top, then we've really got problems, which is what we got going on here in phase 4. So the new steel design will last a lot longer, help us with our maintenance and our repairs, and our crews should be able, when there is an issue now, just to pop a board off, put a new board down, and off we go. And then lastly, I would like to thank the public for their patience. I know anytime we close a portion of the Greenway, it's a disruption to how folks recreate and how they exercise. And I hate that. I hate that we have to close it, but we also have to do these things to make things better and for them to last longer. So again, thank you to the public for their patience. We're going to try to get this done as quickly as we can. John's team's working great, and we hope to open it up as soon as possible. So
great. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you guys for being here again. So check out parks at forsythco.com for more information about the amazing Parks and Rec offerings that Kirk's team gets out there for all of us to enjoy. And they have an amazing Instagram and Facebook accounts as well. So long.